Hello, everybody! Sorry for the delay. I was getting the last of my stuff set up because I have hauled many things to my desk today. Switching to full screen. How is everybody doing today? I hope we are all doing well. On this happy Saturday morning, I'm doing well. I can tell you all that. So for today's stream, I wanted to talk about a little bit before I switch screens to the actual art things, what we're going to be doing today. Hey, Odari, how are you doing today? My favorite game for the past 10 years of my life, I mean, longer than that, the entire franchise, the Final Fantasy franchise, has been a very large part of my life, and I have played many of the games. But my favorite one, because it is constant, is Final Fantasy XIV, which is a giant MMO. So we're going to be doing some fan art, but it's going to be a giant paper craft. So it's not going to just stay in the digital space. It's going to become a paper craft, and it's going to be big. This is the background that I have for it. So the papercraft is going to be huge, and I'm very excited for it because it'll be the biggest one that I've done. But I've had this plan since probably right before Christmas, and I'm pretty excited. Odari, speaking of which, is another streamer here on Behance and has a subscription now, so be sure to go check Odari out. There is a link to Odari's profile, and Gareth is here. Hello, Gareth. How are you doing today? Gareth, I never know whether to link you for streaming or not, so if you want me to link you, I am happy to do that. Let me know. On that note, so the newest expansion that came out for the game is Endwalker. Here's my giant collector's box for it. We're gonna be making her. So that's the reason that I dragged this over, is we're gonna be making her. I have a ton of screenshots that I've tracked down from the game, but we are going to be making her. Her name is Hydaelyn. I don't know if anyone else plays the game, so if there's spoilers in here, I apologize. On that note, I have a bunch of reference materials aside from some screenshots from the game that I've collected over the years from playing. I have prints. I have an entire package full of prints. And I have many art books. many art books. So if those ones, and then I also have, oh, this one is so heavy, an entire case full of art books. So anyhow, I will be referring to those as I make this, and the style of the art that they do for the game, which is, pardon my window cling, kind of like that. I don't know if there's anything else that's super interesting in here. Very pretty art books. So I'll be referring to these as I go. They will be here. They'll be on this giant box behind me. Obviously, we're going to have to do this in vector. Just make a tower of art things for myself. I'm going to have to simplify a lot because it's going to be paper, but we're going to go there. So, that being said, who else joined the chat before I switch screens again? Let's see. We have Bliss who joined the chat. Bliss says, hey y'all, working and lurking. Hey Bliss, that's my favorite thing to do, is work and lurk. And Mercurial joined the chat. Bliss and Mercurial both stream. Mercurial was just streaming before me on Catterday. And Bliss has a subscription now on Behance as well, so be sure to go check Bliss out. There is a link to both of their Behance profiles. And now we're going to switch screens. Okay, so I moved the box for my art collection off of my shelf so I could bring it over to the stream, and my cat is now sitting where the box is, just meowing. He's adorable. Okay, so I have a little picture above me of the character that we're going to be making so you guys can kind of see as we go. This program is called Art Pose Pro, and it is just an app that you can download so you can pose 3D models yourself, and then you can draw from your own reference instead of like hunting out and like finding references for yourself. If anyone needs me to link it in the chat, I will hunt it down and I will link it for you. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to change that to female. I've gotten a lot faster with this, by the way. Next. Hey, Dave. If you're listening, can you come get our child before he destroys my entire collection of things? Okay, so we're gonna kind of put her in one of these starter poses, but then we're gonna modify it. Thank you, Dave. I guess that's fine. Sorry, everyone. The cat is being a cat. He's doing cat things. I can get up and get him, I just don't want to. Anyhow. Oh, Randall is here. Hello, Randall. Randall says, Sarah, my favorite game is Final Fantasy X. I love Final Fantasy X. I have some artwork in the art books from Yoshitaka Amano. I have some 10 artwork in there that maybe towards the end of the stream I'll kind of flip through that art book. Okay, let's just go with this one. I don't think we need to search for another pose. So we're going to alter this a little bit. We need her to be more face on. And then I just need to bring up, I have another screenshot. I'm sorry you guys can't see it. It's just the way that I unfortunately have my OBS set up there. I do have another screenshot open right now. I will show the other screenshot in a little bit when I can switch screens again, but I want to get going on this because I'm like super pumped. Oh, I thought I just like closed OBS for a second. I was about to have a heart attack. Okay, so let's change the hand poses. This app has a bunch of nifty little hand poses that you can change to, and we want this to be a little bit more relaxed. She has weapons that she uses, that you can actually get in game. This is gonna look really goofy, but I need to put both hands out a little bit. Because we need her to be as face on as we can get since we're going to be making her in paper, so I need like a good balance. This is my hand gesture for balance. Okay, going back up in chat. Let's see. Mercurial says, he doing cat things, as cats do. Randall says, oh, that's so cool. Yeah, the game was so stunning, as most Final Fantasy games are. They are. There's been some controversy with a couple of like the latest ones, like 15 kind of got released unfinished, but it was still a really pretty game. We're not going to talk about Stranger of Paradise. I'm on the fence about that. I love Final Fantasy, but the game like looks really ugly, so I'm kind of on the fence about it. see. Bliss is saying hello to everyone, and Mercurial says maybe I'll try to play some Final Fantasy X later today. I wonder if we still have the technology without having to buy it again. If you still have a PS2, I had the original PS2 game for a while and it worked fine. I rebought it on the PS4 since they remastered it. So, you know. And Randall is saying, I think it's on everything but Xbox, Switch, Steam, PlayStation. Yes, I even think it's available on mobile, to be honest. Like, I think you can play it on your iPad, not iPod. I'm 9 again. Suddenly we have iPods. Okay, so let's so yeah, she's gonna kind of be in like, for lack of better words, a Jesus pose. Sorry, I'm playing with the hands to see. I think that's fine. Okay, so now my only question is if I want to put one of like her weapons in her hand or not, like her sword. And I think it's almost gonna be too tempting not to. Let's see if we can first of all, we're gonna quick save this. Posh Hydaelyn? Pose Hydaelyn. Okay, so we quick save this just in case anything happens. And now we have swords that we can put in her hand, which I think is super nifty. That is a really large sword, and that is too much. Um, no one needs no one needs that. We don't need that. We're gonna unlink that, and we're gonna throw it away. Let's try. I don't know. This one. That one seems not quite so large, so that's better. Okay, gotta fix this hand. For whatever reason, the hands kind of get funky if you like hit the undo button or if you change them. Um, we are gonna relax this arm now though. I'm twisting her arm and I don't mean to be. Okay, I think we will. Let's relax this one too a little bit. So I also have to keep in mind, since this is going to be on paper, it's okay to have some things like stick out a little bit, like coming out of the frame at you. But I kind of want to avoid that because I want to I want to keep it mostly flat because that's how I work with the paper crafts. I don't do like a lot of like 3D type things. Okay, let's see how that looks. I think this just needs to be relaxed a little bit. Okay, I think that's probably good. We have a good basis here. Okay, so now we can play with the light. I think we're gonna keep the light probably somewhat like that. Play with the intensity. That's pretty good. So again, it's paper, so we're not gonna be doing a lot of heavy rendering. Okay. All right, so what I just did is I saved. Actually gonna push. There we go. Push the legs out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I just saved the pose. So if I like move the camera, I can just click this one button and it'll come back to it, but I think we're okay. We're just gonna save, quick save again, save. Hit our one button, and then I'm just gonna save a snapshot of this to my photos. Do one more, just for good measure. Okay, so we can close that, and I can start drawing now. Let's see, Randall says, I like the remaster because it's the international version with all the dark aeons. Yes, yes. I never actually played all the way through the remastered version. Oh no, that's a lie. Yes, I did. I did. I'm a liar. Okay. Let's just make this, we'll just make this the current screen size. And because we're gonna end up doing this in vector, like that's how I'm gonna make all the shapes for the paper part, I can resize this any way that I want. So it doesn't matter if, it doesn't matter if I'm drawing it smaller. I don't need to draw it to scale, if that makes sense. Hey Vanessa, how are you? Vanessa is in the chat. Okay. Save this. And I'm gonna obviously use my own style for this. I'm not gonna use like the actual like full on Final Fantasy style. Um, it's gonna be kind of like a hopefully good mix of like my style and like Final Fantasy. Okay, so let's go. We're gonna close that really quick. We are going to, let's just pull in this one. Okay, pull out that little window there. This is a really neat thing I discovered on the iPad the other day, by the way. I don't know if, oh, I just realized my whole screen is like, let me scooch it over for you guys. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna scoot that over and then I will, let me pull that down. I also don't know why my iPad, this big black ugly bar that's like on the screen over here, it's like something weird with OBS and like me connecting and then reconnecting it, and I can't get it to go away. Oh, Vanessa is asking, what was the name of the app again? I only have Magic Poser and I don't like it. Um, 1 second. Let me get that for you. Oh, it's available on Steam too. Okay, so it's available on Steam and it's also available in the App Store, but it's called Art Pose Pro. It's $6, which I mean, take it or leave it. I like it, so let me link that for you. Pose Pro. And Jack Watson is here. Hello, Jack. And let's see. Suna Ina? Is that how you pronounce that? Thanks for popping to my stream. Hello. I will be happy to check out your Behance profile later, just not on stream right now. See, Jack and Vanessa, speaking of which, are also streamers here on Behance. What did I just do? Jack has a subscription here on Behance, so we are going to link both those in the chat. And again, I apologize for this side, this ugly black bar above me. I have yet to figure out how to make it go away in OBS, so it's gonna get left. See, Jack is saying, my favorite game series is Zelda, but I want to play Tunic, which comes out in March. I have not heard of Tunic. And Vanessa is saying, I think this app Art Post Pro is much better. Vanessa, there is a light version of that app too, if you're interested in like trying it before like you invest money in it. But I do like it. The controls are kind of hard to get used to because you have to like use your finger to like also move with the pencil to like rotate things, just as a heads up. But I do like it better than Magic Poser, although Magic Poser is a good free alternative. Okay, let's switch, make sure we are on my pencil brush. Handy dandy pencil brush. Move these guys over here. Alright, we're not gonna worry about the sword right now. We are gonna start sketching. Let's just clear this since I did a couple tests on it. Block layer. Let's see, Jack is saying, and Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. I just want to play Horizon Zero Dawn, to be honest. That was part of like the PlayStation like stay in and game thing, and I've downloaded it, but I haven't been able to play it. And Jack says Tunic looks so cute. I'm gonna have to Google what that is later. Suna Ina says hi and a question mark. Hello. Hi. Okay, so let's. My cat is going insane. He's rioting. So we're gonna split the canvas in half. Just like that. And then we're gonna start roughing out some of this. I don't know if anyone can hear him. Hi! You've got Long Boy Toy? He would like everyone to know that he has, a Long Boy Toy. Which is just, it's one of those like stick and feather toys with like the thing on the end of it. These guys. And he just carries it around the house and screams. Hi! Jack says I really like Horizon Zero Dawn. So looking forward to the next one. Yeah, I have heard it's really good and it's really pretty, and I have been interested in playing it. I just haven't for literally no reason. That's it. I just haven't. So she also has big wings that come off the side of her. For right now, we're gonna get the body down, and then I'm gonna add the wings in a little bit later. So I might have to like shrink her overall and then like make the canvas wider in Illustrator or something. We'll see. Annika is here. Hello, Annika. How are you doing today? Annika is another streamer here on Behance. There is a link to Annika's Behance profile. Okay. Okay, so let me switch screens really quick now that we have like a form sketched out. I'm just gonna switch to my Photoshop screen, which is just gonna show you the same thing. But let me drag this over so you guys can see like what she actually looks like. So she's huge. She has a lot of stuff, which is famous for Final Fantasy designs. Just so you guys can kind of get like a picture of like what I'm going to be drawing. Um, So, my goal for today's stream is to get the form down and get like a nice rough sketch going that I'm happy with, so that way tomorrow I can add some detail and hopefully start the process in Vector. And then the next time that I stream this after that, it will either be finishing the process in Vector or starting on the papercraft. We'll see. It's a very big project, so we'll see. Let's see. Annika says, I'm good. How are you, Sarah? I'm doing good. I got energy today for the first time in like a week. And then we have, is it MLM Evolution in the chat? Is saying hello. And Lineage 2. I'm not sure what Lineage 2 is, but we're doing a papercraft, a big piece of fan art for Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, okay. Answer. Oh, okay. I see. So you're answering my stream announcement, Lineage 2, and Dave is saying that's another MMO. Okay, so that's your favorite game? Good to know. Another MMO. Have not played that one, obviously. That hand is probably way too big, but we'll adjust. And this sword is very big too. I'm also gonna have to get some better screenshots of the sword. Dave, if you're paying attention, I assume the paladin weapon is the sword. Just out of curiosity. Should be. so we're gonna make a little marker for the sword here. Obviously it's gonna run off the page, but like I said, we're gonna adjust her anyhow. So Dave says I'll have to look to confirm. Thank you. Okay. So I'm trying to think. I think what we're going to do is we are going to rotate our canvas like this. And then let's rotate her. I'm going to make her smaller. So like I said, we're going to do this in vector, and vector then gets saved as an SVG into the Cricut software, so I can adjust and scale and size things as needed. See, Jack says, I feel like this week I made a huge list of projects I want to accomplish. That was a hiccup. I want to accomplish, and now I'm feeling overwhelmed. I can relate so hard to that, so incredibly hard to that. So earlier this week, I didn't really have a whole lot to do at work, because we're kind of like in that weird in between period where like people are coming back from the holidays, so like stuff just isn't getting like moved as quickly as it should. And I made a list of like all of the projects that I've like left, like I've started, but then I like start a new project because I have project ADD, and then like they've been left unfinished. And your draw this in your style is one of them. So I like made a list of all these things that I need to finish on top of like the things I want to do for like my subscribers, and I also feel overwhelmed. So we're in this together. Just just so you know, Bliss says I've done that too. We're all in this together, completely overwhelmed. It's fine. Okay. Oops. Oh my. The cats are having a time. Let's open. Oh, I've just opened Photoshop on accident. I didn't mean it. I should really be pulling these up on my iPad instead of on my desktop. I will do that for tomorrow. Just close Photoshop. No one needs you right now, Photoshop. I just want to get a good feel for, okay, so this crazy lady, that's what we're going to choose to call her right now. She has wings that come out of the back of her head. She has no ears, and she has this very giant, elaborate headdress. I just want that to be known. Final Fantasy designs. Jack says Project ADHD. I've never related to something so much in my life. It's true. It's true. I'm just like, oh, that'll be cool to do. Oh no, that'll be cool to do. Oh, how about this? And suddenly nothing is done. Okay, so her little sword comes up like this. We're just gonna do a very rough block in of her sword. I actually have a pretty good picture of it, but it's not like the best. And this guy goes pretty far up. Okay. She has some very pointy boots too. Like her feet are just points. I don't know how else to explain it other than they're just points. Okay, so let's delete this layer. Delete. I didn't mean to hide that. Lock that. And then we're going to work on the shape. So let's bring her face back. So she has a very narrow pointed face. Versus how I would typically draw a face. She has no ears, so we don't need to worry about her ears. Instead of ears, she has like these little, I'm not kidding you, they're like these little bat wings that come out of her head. So we're just gonna rough those in. And then her face, like I said, is very narrow. And I think this is like a callback to how, oh, I have to look at his name. Yoshitaka Amano draws like all the Final Fantasy art, like for Square Enix. Everything kind of has like this pointed in look. Pardon me, I need to adjust my curtain for a second. Jack, I have your name, your layers sticker stuck to my Sketchboard Pro, and the holographic part was getting caught by the sun, and it was like blinding me. Okay, so that, and then they seem to have. Jack says, oh no, and Randall says, ha ha ha. They seem to have a pretty. It's like a thin neck, but it connects like proportionately with the rest of her body, if that makes sense. Like her neck doesn't like start like here. It like connects proportionately like how a neck would with like your the bottom points of your chin. I don't really know how to explain that. I'm sorry. Okay. I really should have brought these references onto my tablet so I could have switched between them so I don't have to keep looking at two different screens, but you know, the more you learn. Okay, so I think this is going to be super interesting. So she has like boots on that like are points. And I think I might actually have to like go in the game and take screenshots of these boots so I can see what they look like. Obviously, not right now, but at some point. Jack says it's just low-key reminding you to name your layers feature, not a bug. What is a feature and not a bug? Like the sticker? Or that went over my head, I'm sorry. Oh, the sticker blinding me to the sticker blinding me to remind me to name my layers. That was hard to say. Okay, so we're not going to worry too much about the shape of her foot. We're pretty much, for this rough sketch, going to leave it like this because her feet are wild. I think what I need to do here is I actually need to tilt this whole hip in a little bit more. Just a smidge. That. So it crosses over, oops, this other foot properly. Okay. Vanessa says layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, etc. That's the name, right, Randall? In Adobe Fresco, unfortunately, that is the name of the layer because Fresco does not allow you to name your layers yet, unfortunately. So Vanessa says pixel layer 1, yes. They can be named in Fresco? Guys, explain, because I didn't know this. Please explain. Really? Where? Okay. Katarina is here. Katarina says, Sarah! Hello, Katarina. How are you? Everybody is yelling at me because... Oh, I didn't post I was live. Oh no, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I forgot. I did forget. Okay, so Gareth says you can name the layers by clicking on the icon, the text, in the layer properties. And Bliss says, wait, the icon below that one. Okay, wait. This thing? I didn't know this. I legitimately didn't know this. I thought you were just on your own below the layer icon. Not that guy, obviously. Oops. The one with the dials above the grid. Oh, this thing? Oh my god, you can name... Guys, we can name our layers. Rough. Wow. Block in. Thank you all for coming on this journey with me. That was amazing. I didn't know you could do that. I really just thought that that was not a thing. Bliss says, and those names carry over into Photoshop. The more you know. All this time. All this time. um, Jack says, oops. Bliss and Vanessa say, LOL. And Randall says, I was about to ask. Good to know. And we have Amar in chat. Is that how you say that? Says learning something new every day. That is true. I just learned something new. Thank you for coming on this journey with me and teaching me a thing. So I've only had Fresco for about a year, and I just never, like, how do I explain it? I just never thought that it like was a thing because like I mean while that is pretty obvious that like it says like layer properties there, I just assumed for whatever reason that that text was not clickable, so I never like bothered to click it ever. I, right over my head. Right over it. All right, back to drawing. Amar says, yeah, okay, cool. So I pronounced your name right. Goodness gracious. All right, we'll block in a little spot for the collarbones here. I think that's about all the detail we'll do there. She has like a bunch of designs that come up on like on her upper chest area here, and it like flows down into a shirt. It's not like actually a shirt, like she's just white. So I would assume like she just that's just what she looks like. Like she's pure white, as you can see in the picture above me. Is it still there? No, I didn't switch my screen back. Hold on. There we go. See above me. Oh, sometimes, everybody, sometimes. I'm actually really glad to know that because when I do like a big illustration again next time, like this one's gonna be pretty big, but like the Cruel Prince one I did and the Throne of Glass one, um, that will help a whole lot. It wasn't necessarily like infuriating that I couldn't name my layers or anything. I figured it out pretty good. I like had a good organizational method. Plus you can tell by the shape in the thumbnail pretty good. But that'll just help better, especially if you want to take it into like Photoshop and you want to be able to hunt through things quicker. It's kind of like it's really hard to like go through layers that are just named like layer 1, 2, 3, and 4 when they have like very specific things on them, if that makes sense. So thank you. Thank you for that, honestly. Okay, so some rough outlines of her hand. And then again, this is the final result for this is going to be paper, so I need to remember that okay there. Desktop notifications. I need to remember that I can't like get too wildly 3D with this, like so I might choose to simplify some of this a little bit. I can definitely put like the fingers on their own shapes very roughly. But you have to also be careful with like the paper crafts. You don't want to go, I know this hand looks a little chicken wiggy is the best way I can choose to describe it right now. I will clean that up. Basically, the smaller the objects that I try to make and then glue together in the paper craft, the harder it's going to be for me, and the more of a chance that I have for them to fall off later if they're not like built very stably. Stable. If they're not built very stable, I should not have been allowed to talk today. Stably. Stably is a word, is it? I don't know. It sounded very funny. Sometimes you just gotta have fun on stream and talk like a goof. Okay, so for this sword, we are not going to worry about putting it in her hand right now. I'm probably going to build that separate in Illustrator and then position it as needed. Okay, last thing I want to do is I just want to block in an area for the face. And then noses are pretty hard to do on paper. You either have to just draw them or you have to figure out how to like make like block in shapes for the nose that will actually look like a nose. Um, so that'll be an interesting challenge to try and figure out. Keep trying to accidentally draw with the lasso because I keep forgetting to switch my tool back. Like I said, this is just a very rough block in for right now. Okay. So let's make another new layer. And we're gonna come in here with, actually I think we could probably go back to full screen now. We're gonna come in here with a different color and we're gonna start roughing in some of like the hair details, and I'm gonna save the wings for last. So we just want rough shape. Add some symmetry here. It looks like she has This hair is going to be so much fun to layer with paper. So her hair back here kind of comes out like jaggedy like this. If anybody has ever seen like a Final Fantasy character, you get it. Okay, so her hair comes out like that, and then it quite literally merges into wings. There are like two. Yes, there are two wings that like come out on the side of her head like this. And then she has some kind of like spiky thing here that I'm probably gonna have to go get better screenshots of. And then she has these little like bat wing things that I said that like come down like this. It's crazy. Okay, so my goodness. She also has a third layer of stuff that like if the wings were like up here, it kind of like clamps over the wings like it's like a curtain basically, like a big fluffy drape. Have you ever just started to draw something and then thought to yourself like, "Oh, what have I gotten myself into?" So yes, she has like this crystal that comes on the top of her head like this. And then above that, she also has more crystals that we'll have to draw in that kind of surround her head like a halo like that. Katarina says always. Ah, it's okay, it'll be fun. We'll worry about those big drapey things not right now. Okay, so we might actually have to worry about those right now. Yes. Oh, hi, Stephen Booth. Stephen Booth is in the chat. Stephen Booth says, every time. Yes. Okay, so let's take we're gonna come in here with another color. We're gonna do probably just a purple, and we are gonna worry about the drapey things right now, even though I kind of really didn't want to. So we might have to, let's unlock this. And I knew this was gonna happen where I was gonna have to like work smaller than I wanted to, but that's okay because like I said, it's just gonna be vector anyhow, so we're gonna resize. Let's lock this again. I keep switching between like two screenshots. Okay, so we're gonna break this down into some shapes. I know this kind of looks like a deer antler right now, but it be. Would it be? Actually, I think needs to be smaller than what I made it. Yes. Because we want the bottom of that wing to stick out. Go ahead and merge that down. So then underneath, oh, I should have just waited to do that. Yeah, let's just wait to do that. Because underneath that is another layer that then pulls out into a third layer. Which then has a piece that curls around like this. Like I said, we're just being super loose with this because this is a lot. But I'm having fun, so that's all that matters, right? Okay, so then from there, I think this is the last part that we need. Yes. So from there is an absolutely massive piece that will kind of curl out like this of this same fabric. I feel like I'm back in middle school when I learned how to draw like the Sailor Scouts from Sailor Moon's like pleated skirts. Okay, so I think we got that down. Something like that. Okay, so now we can go ahead and we're just gonna duplicate that entire layer and then flip it. Okay, so then let's do one more layer. Let's just do this peach color for right now. Running out of colors that I normally work with. And we're gonna rough in the shape of her wings. Um, and we will sketch out a little bit more detail in her wings, but I think ultimately what we're gonna do with them is we will design those primarily in Illustrator because it'll be easier for me to like make like her wings like they're like blades basically that come out of like where the wings would be. Instead of feathers, they're blades. So I think it'll just be all around easier for me to make those in Illustrator so I can duplicate and manipulate shapes rather than try to sketch all of that out in fresco when we're not even going to be like painting or anything for this. It's going to be paper. So the only thing that I would like to do first is we are going to once again make her a little bit smaller. Just a little bit more. Probably like that. Okay, make sure we're on the right layer. And then we're going to draw like this, like the wings actually do come out from her back. Because when I build this as a paper craft, I need to have all of the shapes so I can layer them on top of each other. So that's one of the tricky parts about paper crafting is if you were just illustrating this, like you wouldn't have to worry about what's getting covered by what because it's going to be hidden anyhow. You just need to worry about if it like casts a shadow, if it's going to catch light, like stuff like that. Just do a very basic shape, and I might end up having to shrink these a little bit. We'll see. Okay. Have a layer that comes through here. We'll just very, very roughly block that in. This will also work to my advantage because for the paper craft, uh, I can lay these out on like the cutting mat in the order that they will like appear in like the wing structure. And then in Illustrator, I can just like duplicate them too. So okay, so this last one is, yeah, I knew we were gonna have to shrink these. Go out this way. We're just gonna make them a little bit higher. There we go. So these ones are like spread out a little bit more. So I think that one might have been a little too big. We're gonna draw through this because I need, like I said, I need to make sure that I have like a basis. That looks pretty good. Just duplicate that. It is 3:20 already. I cannot believe it. Okay, so we have a very large mess of a sketch that I do need to work out details on in order to finish this. So, like I said, we need to really work on these boots and such. They're just so weird. So in the actual papercraft, I plan on doing it like vertically. If I hold this up down here, you guys maybe see. I plan on doing it vertically. And it's okay if the wings hang off the sides a little bit. I'm not really concerned about that. All right, so we're gonna group all of this. So we can start sketching. It's a little bit more detail. Let's go ahead, bring the opacity down on that a bit. So one of the other things that I want to incorporate into this, which I will probably also do in Illustrator because I can just make the shape then and then play with the layout, is this character, Hydaelyn, is associated with a crystal, crazy crystal that talks to you through the entire game series. So what I would like to have in the background, really, really big behind her, is the shape of this crystal. And let me just, I'm gonna switch screens again really quick. So I would like to have the shape of this big crystal with a bunch of like swirly things around it, kind of like this. And I plan to do that. I bought acetate and I bought it's like a clear paper that I can't think of the name of. It's like semi like ghosted clear. Back to fresco. So that's how I plan to accomplish that. I can like go over that with some alcohol marker, thin layer of acrylic paint, vellum. Yes, thank you, Jack. Jack says vellum. Yes, vellum and I want to say it's acetate that I bought. Oh, here's a noodle to come say hello to us. Hi. Hey. Nope. She says no. So I bought those to play with, and I would like to make the crystal out of um, the clear stuff that I have. It's like a plasticky clear stuff. And I would like to be able to put inside of that like the foggier vellum and have that be blue. And then I bought little twinkle they're feral lights, fairy lights, to put inside of that. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. In any event, it should be a journey. Indeed. A very large journey to kind of make this whole paper craft. I also have metallic markers, so this character has a lot of blue on her. Um like blue kind of like shinier patches. You can see like some of it up in the picture above me. So I have blue metallic markers. I have not acquired yet, but I can acquire foil, so metallic foil to like add to her. Or I can do like a shinier holographic uh vinyl. So I put a lot of thought into this. I just, need to execute. On another layer, I will start I need to really inspect like the designs that are laid throughout. She has like designs that they like wrap around her entire body. There's some on her neck. They go down her arms and her legs. So I really need to inspect those and like study them so I can draw them properly. Get like a good clear image. I'll probably definitely have to like have that right next to my face as I draw that part. Otherwise, like I'm not so great with like memorizing like patterns and like redrawing them, if that makes sense. So they'll probably have to like literally be right next to me on the screen. Okay, so her boots, like I said, I have to go get a better screenshot of those because I have like the screenshot that I have right now is like half a screenshot and I can just make out like the shape of them. It's not great. Um I can tell that like they kind of mimic like crystals, so like they come up like this. They come up over here, but like they're super chunky and then they like come out like this. And then they like come down like this and in here. But that's like all I can see. The whole rest of the screenshot is like cut off. So just undo all of that. We're gonna leave her feet blank for right now, and I'll come in on another layer and I'll really get into like the detail for those. We'll add. I feel like that's just too much. Okay, so then let's go over here. We need to add in a collarbone because you can see that on her. She also has a design that like meets up with her collarbone. Okay, so the the sword obviously needs to be placed in her hand. Um, I'm going to block in a shape for that. Just gonna make a new layer. And it kind of like, it's like this weird thing that like goes like this. And we don't want to add too much detail because it's not needed. got like some crystal that comes off of here. If you can't tell, this girl's shtick is crystals. As is most of the Final Fantasy. I actually think I might have done this backwards because my brain isn't translating this well, but you know, we have a, it's a block in. Do like this. Okay, so that's just going to be a very rough translation of where the sword needs to go. I did do this wrong. That's going to bother me. Hold on, please. Is the opposite side. And then I will go procure myself a nice, beautiful screenshot of this, and then I will probably make the sword, you know, standing straight up, and I will rotate it as I need to rotate it because, again, it's paper. I want to be able to put as much, I want to be able to put as much uh, realism and like correct proportions in as I can, but in the end, it's going to be flat. So flat with volume. Okay, so let's lock that. Come back to the people layer. She even has like little crystals in her hair too. I didn't notice that at first. You know, let's let's do this on a different layer. That way if I need to erase something, I can erase it in peace and don't have to worry about accidentally erasing like part of my drawing. So I need to keep in mind that I need to be able to do the hair in layers of shapes. So I can't get like too crazy with like strands like this of hair. Actually, I do wonder if we should just duplicate that to make sure that it's the same. Probably. We'll see. Okay, so we're going to just duplicate all of this. Not delete. Can merge that down. Okay, so we'll worry about those crystals that like float off her head like a little halo and stuff, and like the little like crown thing that like comes up here. We'll worry about that a little bit later. Um, her mouth is going to be really hard to do because it's really small. And I think for her nose, we'll probably do something very small like this. That I will likely end up having to draw on very carefully with like probably a very light blue or like a gray colored pencil. I know that looks like super pixely because it's the pencil brush that I'm using, but that's okay. Okay, and then we're just gonna duplicate this eye. Which is something like if I was doing like a portrait or something, I absolutely would not do that. Merge that down. Let's do a save because we haven't done that all stream. So I have about 15 minutes left of the stream. I will be back tomorrow continuing to work on this. I plan to work on this entire paper craft from start to finish on stream. And the only things that I'll be doing off stream is if I need to finish like something small or like if I just don't finish something that I need to get finished for the next stream on stream. That's like the only thing that I'm going to be doing. And this is probably going to go on for a series of streams. And I'm probably going to work on some stuff in between if I need to. We'll see. Um, but this is going to be like a huge undertaking. So, okay. just gonna move the sword down there. We're gonna make another new layer. I just saved. So let's see if I have a good picture. Don't think that I do. Oh, I do. Of this thing that like goes over her head. Okay, so interesting. Let's actually, since I have a good picture of it up right now, open that for myself so I can't see. Let's work on this area here. And we can just turn this into, this actually should probably go up just a smidge more towards her collarbone. Like this. And then that will get mirrored on the other side. Probably make great use of the symmetry tool in Illustrator as well. Or like the mirror repeat, I should say, for a lot of this. Since this is just supposed to be a rough sketch. We have sort of an opposite of that comes down like this. Okay, so then that kind of turns into that. Then we have like this is like a light blue area, I guess, that kind of comes out of that. Vanessa is asking, can we actually feather lasso selection in Fresco? I don't think so. I know you can like use like the lasso tool, but I don't think there's like a specific like feather lasso. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Okay, so then it looks like we have two lines that kind of come in like this, and then on her collarbones here, that we can do necklines. On her hips that come down. Something like that. This is gonna need quite a bit of adjusting. So basically towards like the bottom of her feet, she has the bottom of her legs, I should say. She has like other marks that come through here, but they're like faded colors, if that makes sense. So like the color kind of fades here, so I think I'm just gonna mark like where those would be. And then it's basically the same thing on her arms. There's just like some faded areas, and then her hands are just white. Might just be inclined to take all of that. Oops. And then it actually kind of looks like her hands have gloves on them because there are like wrinkles. But we can worry about that later. I suppose this one would need to come over that way more. Excuse me. Okay, so that solves that. Let's put that underneath the head. And then this thing on her head is just, it looks like it's the same like material that her boots would be made out of. I think what we're gonna do for that is we're just gonna move that to kind of come below her head like that. That one's going to be particularly tricky to place on her head. I might have to like do some finagling where I make it like a little bit longer, or I have some like really good stability on the back of it to get it to stick properly. Um, Also looking at some more screenshots, these crystals that appear behind her actually appear to be they're like a complete circle. So I will probably add a complete circle of these behind her. We'll just rough in where they go for right now. It was really crooked. We'll just go with that. But anyhow, there's like a whole like halo circle that like comes all the way around her head. So okay, so now let's do another new layer for our wings. And we're gonna draw all the way through this object like we've been doing, or for the head wings, I should say. Are those actually layered? Oh, they are layered. Okay, I see. Interesting. So they are layered, so they come out like this. But you can only see it through like a certain angle. It's actually probably the incorrect angle. You're gonna put this a little bit higher. And it's probably gonna get covered by cloth anyhow. She has like all that cloth and stuff on her. We're just gonna mark that these are wings like this, and this will probably be something that I do in Illustrator, like I was talking about before, where I like duplicate shapes and then like form the shape that I need. It's getting too busy now. Okay, hold on. Let's just undo a whole bunch of that. I think that's gonna be too busy because I need to add the cloth over it. I'm gonna leave all my layers in here. Let's just do like this for right now. Just the hint of it so it doesn't like get too busy. All right, so we are going, I'm just gonna duplicate this layer really quick. Whoop, mirror it. Zoom out really quick. So this is a very rough block in of what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to continue this tomorrow. Hopefully we can get it into the vector part tomorrow, but this is it's a very detailed sketch. Very detailed rough sketch to make sure that I get all of like the planning, all of the parts that I need, all of just everything layered properly and everything. Um, so that being said, I will be back around the same time, same place tomorrow, here on Behance, finishing up the sketch for this, hopefully getting it in the vector. Jack, I'm not sure if you are streaming today. Let's see if Jack went live. Yes, Jack is live right now. Just started her stream, so everybody be sure to go watch Jack. I'll be there in a little bit. Everybody's saying, yes, it started. She's set up to stream. And I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who hung out today. I'm going to shimmy over to Jack's stream. So I'll be back tomorrow, and it was wonderful to hang out with everyone. Thank you guys so much. Bye, everyone.